Once upon a time, nestled beyond the highest mountains, there was a land known as the Kingdom of Clouds. It was a realm of unimaginable wealth, with palaces made of gold and markets overflowing with treasures. But beneath this glittering surface, a shadow had fallen, not a shadow you could see, but one that grew inside people's hearts. Lies had become the currency of the kingdom. Merchants cheated their customers, soldiers boasted of battles they never fought, and even children learned that a clever lie could earn them a meal faster than an honest day's work. The ruler, King Darnos, had once been a just man, but years of flattery and deceit had clouded his judgment. He could no longer tell truth from falsehood. He would often sigh, saying, "The worst enemy is the liar, for he kills you not with a sword, but with his tongue." The king had one son, Prince Saran. He was handsome and clever, but also arrogant and proud. He believed honesty was a fool's game, and that lies were the stepping stones to power. But one day, everything was about to change. Far from the grand capital, in a humble mountain village, lived a poor boy named Nader. He spent his days gathering firewood to sell in the market. His clothes were ragged, and his hands were calloused, but his heart was pure gold, and touched by the kingdom's disease of deceit. The villagers often mocked him. "Nader, that foolish boy who never lies." They'd laugh. He would just smile and reply, "Truth may be poor, but it never bows its head." Every night, his wise mother would whisper, "My son, you may go to bed hungry, but you will wake rich with honor." One day, King Darnos, weary of the lies, decided to find the one honest person left in his kingdom. He made a grand announcement: "I shall grant my kingdom as future to the one whose heart is purest and whose words are true." He appeared before the people holding a small box of seeds. "Take these," he declared. "Plant them, care for them for 1 month. Whoever brings me the most beautiful flower shall receive the greatest honor." The people scrambled for the seeds, their minds already scheming. Nader, the poor boy, took his seed home and planted it in a simple clay pot. He watered it every day, whispering words of hope. But days turned into weeks, and nothing grew. His neighbors' pots, however, were bursting with vibrant flowers. They boasted about their magnificent blossoms. Nader just looked at his empty pot and said softly, "Perhaps no flower has bloomed here, but truth has." A month later, the palace gates swung open. A river of people flowed in, carrying pots overflowing with stunning flowers of every color imaginable. It was a dazzling, beautiful lie. Nader arrived last, his head held high, carrying his small, empty pot. Laughter erupted around him. "Look at the fool," they jeered. "Even his honesty has failed him." But Nader walked forward, calm and unashamed. When he stood before the king, Darnos looked down and asked gently, "Where is your flower, my boy?" Nader bowed low. "My king," he said, his voice clear and steady, "I planted the seed and cared for it every day, but it never sprouted. I may have failed as a gardener, but I could not lie to you." The hall fell into a stunned silence. The king rose from his throne, his voice ringing with authority. "People of the Kingdom of Clouds, listen well. The seeds I gave you were dead. They could never grow. Every flower in this room was born from deceit except this empty pot." Gasps rippled through the crowd. The king descended the steps, placed a hand on Nader's shoulder, and declared, "This boy is the only honest heart among you. He shall be the keeper of my treasures and the guardian of truth." Tears welled in Nader's eyes. "I sought no crown, my lord," he whispered, "only peace within my heart." The king smiled warmly. "And that, my child, is the true crown." From that day on, the kingdom began to heal. King Darnos appointed Nader his personal advisor, and his simple, honest ways began to inspire others. Merchants started dealing fairly, and parents taught their children the value of truth. A new saying spread across the land: "He who wishes to be strong must first be honest." But not everyone was happy. Prince Saran's heart was consumed with jealousy. He couldn't stand seeing a poor boy praised above him. "How can a woodcutter's son be more noble than me?" he fumed. "I'll prove he's a fraud and take back what's mine." One moonless night, the prince crept into the royal vaults, stole a bag of gold, and hid it in Nader's small room. The next morning, he stormed into the court, shouting, "Father, The boy you trust has betrayed you. He's stolen from the crown. The guards searched Nader's room and, to everyone's shock, found the gold. Nader stood silent, his heart heavy, but his gaze unwavering. King Darnos looked at him with profound sadness. "Did you do this, Nader?" Nader answered quietly, "By God, my king, my hands are clean. I have taken nothing that is not mine." The prince sneered. Every liar claims to be innocent. But Nader lifted his face to the heavens and declared, "If I speak the truth, let heaven defend me. But if I lie, let the lightning strike me down this very moment." In that instant, a deafening crash of thunder shook the palace. A blinding flash of lightning filled the hall, striking the very sword in the prince's hand and throwing him to the ground. The people fell to their knees in terror and awe. The king wept openly. "God himself has spoken," he cried. "Truth cannot be buried." Years passed. A humbled Prince Saran repented and begged Nader for forgiveness. Nader, whose heart held no room for vengeance, forgave him, saying, "The tongue that lies can still learn the language of truth." When King Darnos passed away, the people gathered and chanted as one, "Long live Nader, the king of truth." Under his rule, the kingdom of clouds was reborn as the kingdom of light. Honesty became their strength, and deceit their shame. And above the golden palace gates, Nader had these words engraved for all to see: "A lie may win you a day, but the truth wins you forever." This story reminds us that honesty may not always seem to bloom in the soil of this world, but it blossoms eternally in the heavens. The liar may laugh today, but tomorrow they will tremble when truth rises like the sun. The honest person sleeps peacefully, for their heart is the one treasure no thief can ever steal. Thank you so much for joining us on this journey. If this story resonated with you, please give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe for more tales that touch the heart and mind. We'll see you in the next video.